Yeah, you were the perfect first guest for this, man.
Yeah.
We know how much you
Appreciate
like
it.
conspiracies.
This is my shit, bro. But I'm also super gullible, so I believe everything. So I'm a perfect nigga for.
All right. Welcome everybody to Conspiracy Corner. This was a segment of the original Damn Internet You Scary podcast, and we kind of got away from it for a little bit, and everybody was requesting it, and we missed it ourselves. So we said, why don't we just do a separate show just with Conspiracy Corner?
Yep.
That's what we're doing right now. Each show we'll try to have an amazing guest, but sometimes it might just be me and Pat. But for today, we are kicking it off our very first episode with a lover and a fan of conspiracy theory, all things conspiracy theories. Ladies and gentlemen, no introduction is absolutely necessary. We got Mr. CP back on the show. Bam, 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 bam.
What up, though?
What's
Man,
up, man?
We had to.
Bro, I'm so happy to be here, man. You don't understand. I wake up thinking about this shit every day.
Do you have a favorite conspiracy?
Man, you know what's crazy is that they, in my opinion, they all tie together. So like, it's really only like 6 real conspiracy theory like sectors, and then a lot of shit falls under that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like
UFOs,
Illuminati, you know what I'm saying? Like flat Earth, you know, like anything space. So that kind of falls in UFOs, but also like other planets, interdimensionary shit. So like the idea that it's like 300 Pats, 300 Tahirs, and they're all doing different shit. And, you know, one of them could even die. That doesn't affect the rest of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And so then they start going like, you know, they start like interceding. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, they say like it's Illuminati in the music industry, but then it's also demons who could be interdimensionary demons, who could be aliens, who could be reptilians, which brings us back to UFOs, which is fucking crazy.
That's true, because then that ties into like the hollow earth, flat earth thing, because it's just like that's where they come from and all that
that's
stuff.
That's where they come from, exactly.
That's true. So there's like 5 conspiracy theories.
But look, one of the things that I heard recently that kind of like gave me like a real aha moment is the fact that certain principles in the universe all prove each other. So like if you pay attention to certain things, they kind of prove other principles because everything is going on the same, like, you know, like for example, like you know, like they say that like the root system for a tree is similar to the stems of the tree above ground. Like, you know, like, so just like imagine like no leaves, none of that, but like the stem root system is very similar. So the tree is growing up and down, right? As above, so below type of shit, like the fucking upside down type shit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of ideology is like, wow, like if you look at nature, a lot of shit proves other shit.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's pretty deep.
That's crazy. Like them forests where all the trees talk to each other underneath the plant, like with the roots.
And they're using but they use fungus as their internet.
Right.
Which is insane. Like you talk about damn internet you scary, damn internet you stanky. Nigga, it's fungus all underneath you. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, so they use fungus as like the internet to be able to talk to not only other trees, but their kids. Like trees, it's been found that trees keep in contact with their offspring, right? Like they talk to each other.
Nigga, I did not know that.
Right.
Yeah. There's also a conspiracy that trees are moving, which leads me to believe that there are some things. Okay, look.
Leaves me to believe. I see what you did there.
You feel me? Oh, wait. Am I freezing? I'm freezing up?
Yeah.
When you move like this, it'll freeze for some reason. I don't know why.
Because he's talking about real shit. That's the elites, man.
You feel me? Hey, bro. He ain't bullshit. But like they have like, so there's a walking stick bug.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a good spot for Pat to be like, yeah, he's in your family. But then also
I wasn't even thinking about it.
but understand that like everything on this planet has the big and the little version, right? So like the monitor lizard, the biggest one is like the Komodo dragon, right? And then the biggest one from that was old dinosaurs. So you think about a stick bug, why couldn't there be a tree animal?
Oh, like an animal that pretends to be a tree?
That literally is so big that it could be a tree. We have things that mimic everything, right? There are snakes that have a head that's like a leaf, right?
Yeah.
We have snakes that have a tail that does the worm thing, right? Because, you know, that principle, like we fish the same way they fish, right? There are carnivorous plants. There are plants that eat meat.
Goddamn Venus flytrap.
Venus flytrap. And so they have footage of trees that are like seemingly like walking around. And people are like, get the fuck out of here. But it's like, you have to think like there, like the possibility, because there's a stick bug, there could be a stick, you know what I'm saying? King.
I think that it's so crazy that it's so much nature evolution that we don't even know about. We're just becoming aware of certain things like the fish and all the aquatic life below where we could actually reach in the ocean. And we're just finding out about some of these fish, like the fish with the light on it. And
you talk about the angler? The angler?
Yeah, like that's fucking crazy, bro. Like, what part of evolution, what path did he take to have something illuminate on his body to trick other fish so he can eat it?
I'm gonna tell you some real. What's interesting is that you know who needs some type of bioluminescence that doesn't have it is spiders, right? Because if you think about it, the anglerfish does that not only to see, but to attract fish that is so dark, everything is attracted to that light, the same way that insects are. So that's why spiders will set up shop by your porch light.
Oh, exactly, because of flies and stuff.
Right. But it's like evolution would tell us that what's on the way is a spider that can light its own self up, that can attract bugs to it. That's the kind of
that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Like the stick bug, that caterpillar that looks like a snake. Like there's a lot of animals that imitate, and there's probably a lot that either were extinct or we just don't know that they're imitating yet.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, to your point, they could have imitated something so good that it fucked their own self up. Like, you know, I'm a stick, and then they never get no food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you get stepped on.
Something's gonna come. Something's, you know what I'm saying? And then a bird use you to make their nest. You say what?
When you see, like, you ever walk into spider webs and it'd be like multiple of them, like you're walking downstairs or something, and it's like a couple of strings. I always wonder if those strings are connected to a bigger web, and it's kind of like a alarm system to let the spider know that something's close. Because typically on the web is when they know, right? They got to wait till something lands on their actual web. But if they're just like casting little nets or little lines out so they can tell, oh, something's coming, then they can be prepared to attack the prey. Because it'd be like those little strings of webbing be in the most random place, and it's like, why was the spider in this big ass gaping ass space? Like, what was it doing here? It's not posting up here.
Two things. Number one, I will beat the shit out of myself for walking through it. I'll be like, right? Walking through a spider web, I will fuck me up. But then also, you think about this, right? Like, if you look at like the spiders aren't the only ones who do that. Police are doing that right now. You ever be driving down the street and it would just be like a black cord just out onto the street that everybody got to drive over? You know what I'm talking about?
For the speed test, yeah. For when they take a
speed test, but they're down the road and they're catching speeders down the road, knowing that you coming towards them.
Yeah. So I've seen it. Like you definitely see it. So typically those right there are testing the speed, the average speed of people driving in that area on that plot of land. And what they'll do from that information is see if they need to set up a speed trap. Now, when you're driving on the highway or the freeway, like you're doing cross country or any type of long distance driving, what they'll do is they have a cop on the overpass. That cop is clocking people as they drive underneath the overpass. So he's getting them while they're heading toward the overpass. And he'll send that information to another car that's right after that overpass on the entrance ramp. He'll say like blue Corolla or blue Camry clocked at 82 over 82 and a 75. So you don't even know that car is coming. You keep going past underpass, and now here's that cop coming down off the entrance ramp to get you because he got the information from the cop that's in the overpass.
You got to be slicker though.
Production than I thought it was.
Yeah, because it's fuck that. That's not that's cheating. You need to be able to catch me if you can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or how do they know it's a million blue Corollas? I'd be like, officer, I saw that blue Corolla too. Pissed me off. I thought it was me too. But it wasn't me. It was them.
I thought it was me too.
I was like, yeah, look at me speeding. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's wild.
The craziest thing is when they set up shop at the bottom of a hill where you're basically like gravity. You could not even know how fast you're going, and it's just like, damn, I didn't have time to slow down. I've been caught like that before.
Yeah.
Hey, we could jump into the first conspiracy real quick. But actually, shit, we were doing so well on this one. Shit, we almost at the 15-20 mark anyway. But maybe we could just jump into it, and we can do, if we need to, just go longer or do a part 2 for this one.
Hey, no, this is the pilot episode, and I think all that nature talk was a good warm up for this, because this conspiracy I've never heard of. It's called the Flatwoods Monster. CP, you ever heard this one?
No, I haven't.
Okay, for sure. So
I heard of the Backwoods Monster. But
nigga, that's you. That's you.
That is you. I love a good roast. God damn it, that was
it's just CP rolling the backwood. Look at
that. We see him every midnight. All right, so the Flatwoods Monster. This is also known as the Braxton County Monster or the Phantom of Flatwoods. This is a legendary creature that reportedly appeared in Braxton County, which is in West Virginia. And this is back in the 50s. This is 1952. The incident began when witnesses observed a bright object streaking across the sky and crashing on a nearby hill. A group of locals, including children and a dog, I don't know why they included the dog, went to investigate the crash site. When they reached the hill, the witnesses claimed to have encountered a strange, unidentified creature. The descriptions vary, but the common features include a towering height, about 10 feet tall, a large spade-shaped head, glowing red eyes, and a green or metallic body. Witnesses also reported a sickening odor permeating from the area, which caused some to experience nausea and vomiting. We want to put the photo up. Just, I think, yeah. So this is what they say it looked like, which is crazy. Imagine that 10 feet tall in the woods at night. And they made that nigga into a chair for some reason.
First of all, I'm about to say he's a fucking rocking chair. That's not scary at all.
But that's crazy. He stinks so bad you vomit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It says,
you know what? So basically, there's a homeless monster flying around. Here's my thing, right? This obviously sounds like an alien if it crashed a ship, first of all, right? 1952. Can you imagine if that alien is here still and is old as hell? And now it's just wrinkled. It don't even stink good no more. Like, man, I remember that class back in there. You know what I'm saying?
It's all hunched down.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like, I think that what's crazy is, okay, first of all, conspiracy. If we get our technology from the aliens, which I 100% believe that we do, especially based on that Eisenhower Treaty with 117 different races of alien. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, like how there's like dark grays and then the short ones with the gray skin.
Oh,
and
okay.
So, yeah, we traded them bodies and other shit for their technology, along with our secrecy about them, right? Like, and so what happens is this shit was all happening before cell phones, even though I feel like they gave us cell phones. And so it kind of makes sense that shit like this would happen before we were able to really, like that Miami shit, that sounds like this same race of aliens.
Oh, the ones that was in the mall.
Shit.
That was such a crazy thing because nobody has ever like confirmed that, because they said it was like kids fighting in the mall. But bro, if you saw all the cop cars that descended upon that mall, bro, that was two police forces. Like That was insane for some kids fighting in the mall.
Right.
Have you noticed how lazy they are with the cover up? Sometimes they'd be like, "Oh, it's just the military doing tests. Oh, it was just a weather balloon. Oh, it's just kids fighting." Like what?
A weather balloon that we shot down with a missile. The missile cost $400,000 a piece, and we could have popped that bitch with a Bic.
That's true. I never thought about how expensive a missile is.
And we missed the first missile. How the fuck do you miss a balloon unless it's doing maneuvers?
It's a great point.
Good points were made.
That's crazy. A weather balloon, they're just trying to see how cloudy it was, and you hit that nigga with a missile.
I feel like, though, that I would rather have a dog with me. One, dogs are very loyal, and they're going to try to protect you. But also, dogs notice shit and hear shit and sense shit way better than we do. Like, you ever been, I know, CP, you got a dog. So, and Pat, you also have dogs. You've been at home when a dog like raises his head and looks towards the door, like he hears a person coming, or
freaks me
they're
out.
so much more aware. Like, I don't know how to tap into like the senses of a canine or just animals in general, but it's something that needs to be studied. I feel like that would help with the paranormal activity and help with, like, you know, intruders, aliens, whatever, because they have like a sixth sense for that shit that we are just not equipped to do on our own.
So, you know, the whole thing about the red night vision, which led us to understand how different things that see in different color spectrums can actually see different things. So, like, you know, back in, like, I forgot what war it was the Vietnam War, actually, and they were experimenting with night vision goggles, and and so night vision goggles are green. That's like the spectrum that we use right now. Back then, they were using the red spectrum. Like, a crazy number of soldiers using those goggles say that they saw creatures on the battlefield that you wouldn't see when you lifted them up. And so you talk about dogs and how they say dogs are colorblind, right? But then now they're coming out to saying that dogs can see like blues and shit like that. Because really, it's like they didn't test every dog. I don't think my dog colorblind because he's not no bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? Like, I feel like animals like cats and different animals that live in the woods, right? I think that they're seeing things because they have to be able to see at night. They have to have a certain like different type of vision. They know shit. Like, y'all remember that Black Mirror episode where they tap into the consciousness of that hamster just to catch that killer because the hamster witnessed it. So they tapped his mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what needs to be done, because I'm telling you right now, we need to get like some whales. We need to get like some because people like these things are seeing shit, and if we could replay their memories,
right,
because they know shit that we don't know, but it's not sense.
Whales, sharks, and turtles and alligators. Tap into them because them some of the oldest aquatic life we have. Alligators have seen some shit.
Yeah,
I know.
As grumpy as they are, alligators like, man, this whole world is bullshit. Chomp.
Yeah, they just found a shark that was like hundreds and hundreds of years old, and it was like, man, this shit was around longer than humans, damn near. What's crazy about that night vision story is that they said that, and this might be a fun conspiracy corner too, but they said that the red ones was leaking some like hallucinogen into the people, so they were hallucinating. But what's crazy about that is that they were all seeing the same thing, and they were all in helicopters, and they were seeing winged people like demons, like, and they were shooting at it, and the pilot was like, "Nigga, what are you doing?" And they were shooting at like winged people. But what was crazy to me is that, like, how are different people hallucinating the same things?
That don't happen with nothing. That doesn't happen with weed. That doesn't happen with acid. That don't happen with shrooms. Nobody has the same trip. So if it's dripping some hallucinogens, there's no way that they would be seeing the same thing. That just thinks of cover up from top to bottom.
Crackheads be best friends having two different trips right next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of them being Looney Tunes, one of them being Stranger Things. Best friends. You know what I'm saying?
But it's crazy you mentioned that animals see different colors too, because their solution to that wasn't to make better night vision goggles that were red. They switched out the color. They're like, all right, now the like the default is green. They completely lost the red thing instead of just fixing the leak or whatever it was that was messing up. They're like, let's give these niggas green.
Imagine being so dumb that somebody can tell you that we're leaking light into your eyes. And they're like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's toxic light leak. That don't even make no fucking sense. That don't even make sense. This is an electromagnetic thing. It's leaking. Come on, man. Leaking light?
I don't think it was leaking light. They said it was leaking like something in like what they made was leaking some chemical. And that was what they were tripping off of. But I guess I don't know enough about how night vision used to be built or is built now to even understand that. But it just seemed like a weird pivot.
I just imagine like some dog ass binoculars with batteries in them. That's all I can think about.
You know? That's funny. Hold on, we got another picture of the monster from Flatwoods.
Oh, that's way scarier.
Yeah, that's way scarier.
He got a skirt. That's why he crashed.
He definitely he look like a spade, though. Can you imagine him being on the big Joker? That's what you need playing spades. Like,
damn, that's scary. It says that it was emitting strange hissing sounds as it approached the witness, which I've never heard from an alien story. And it said the sound added to the eerie atmosphere of the encounter and heightened the sense of fear. It also had very limited movement. It says it was reported to have moved and approached the witnesses, but the movements were described as slow and deliberate, which I don't know if you remember the weird footage from the mall, but they weren't like zipping around like that. It seems like they were like kind of moving slow too. So I mean, it's interesting that you kind of had that callback. But
I never saw any footage from the mall.
They had a blurred out thing. Why would they blur out a human, first of all? But then even them blurring it out, it looked glitchy as it was like pacing back and forth in front of the mall. It was like, bro, it was like the cover up was so ridiculous. It could have only been for our grandparents. Like, it was not for us to think that it was like, it was like they had some shit blurred out like it was cops or something. You know how they blur people's faces out?
Yeah.
Like, why would they blur out a person?
Or bad resolution, which is crazy from a news helicopter. Like the whole point is to have cameras that are good enough to see what's happening. And we've clearly seen helicopters have HD footage of a nigga running through the neighborhoods with like no issue. But then for some reason, the only footage we got was like literally like the first phone camera ever trying to zoom in.
Wasn't that helicopter footage from Reginald Denny when he did that dance in the middle of that riot in LA where he hit that nigga with that brick and was like, rah! He hit a dog ass dab. Remember that? It was like the Korean store riots. Bro, a nigga hit this Asian dude with a brick, crack, and then danced like, y'all. But it's like 1992.
And the footage was better?
Oh, it was amazingly better. So look,
that's crazy.
While we're talking about asking the animals, though, did y'all hear about how they found a new species of orca a couple of weeks ago? New species of orca. Now, what I didn't know is that I thought a killer whale was a killer whale, right? They are the biggest dolphins, the smartest dolphins. They call them killer whales because the original name was whale killer, and the translation became killer whales. But they are, in fact, dolphins. Now, there's about 40 or 50 different species similar to humans from around the world where they never interact with each other. Hippie said it's 2 new species. They never interact with each other. They speak different languages. They have different accents. They eat different foods, just like us and people from around the world. It's the same with these orcas, right? Now, here's the trippy part. The way that they found it is that they went out just a little further. So imagine like rings in the ocean. And so we know about these closer rings. They went out just a little further and found these niggas. These is like a whole different kind of, like, they way more gangster than the other ones. They a lot more aggressive. And so we just etched out a little bit. Mind you, the ocean is the whole planet.
Yeah.
It's shit out there that we have no idea about. And the more shit that goes untouched, that's the shit that knows something.
Yeah. I feel like, and this, when we were talking about the camera shit, it just had me think, it was like, what if aliens gave us AI technology, right? Because it seems like there's no stopping this AI train. This shit is going ahead full steam. But they delivered it to the powers that be, and like, this is going to help us continue our research on your planet without people actually knowing it's us. Because now any video, when we were talking about the video being blurred in front of the mall and all that type of stuff, now you don't know the likelihood of that being real or fake because there is so much AI. So what if they gave us AI just as a way for them to continue to do their research or continue to travel back and forth without us knowing if the footage is real or not? Because now there's no way for the common person, you know, if you're a tech whiz or you deal with editing and all that shit, you may be able to decipher if it's real or not. But the common person would not be able to discern the difference between a real and a fake piece of footage. And it's like, nigga, what if this was all part of the bigger plan?
Bro, I don't even be knowing which Drake diss is real or not because AI is so crazy. You
right. It's
look,
crazy for rap.
Right. But have y'all seen the 3-body problem?
The what?
The 3-body problem on Netflix.
No,
I haven't seen that one.
Bro, it's I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's talking about the same thing that you're talking about to here. And what I've been thinking is that AI, imagine this. Imagine sending the technology to a planet and then the technology can build you. So like, let's say like AI, you know, as smarter and it gets smarter and smarter and smarter and then builds a body for itself. Now, if AI is alien invasion and their consciousness, because they can right now upload our consciousness to a robot or upload, they did it with like a monkey right now. Like they uploaded a monkey's brain to something else. There are super soldiers in a project called the Avatar Project. And right now in our military is soldiers underneath like a mountain base and they're tethered to a fucking cyborg soldier. Right. And if that soldier dies in the field, the soldier in real life doesn't die. Now, if I were an alien and I were so many light years away from here that I couldn't get here quickly, I would send my consciousness and then allow it to build me up a vessel to prepare for me coming.
Yeah,
that's dope.
So
that's super
before
dope.
we get out of here, I always think about this on a larger scale, like, you know, for people that are religious, like, what if Earth and other planets, 2-part statement, what if Earth and other planets were just like a science experiment with God, for God? Like, all of it still would fit if he was just like, let me just see what would happen if I did this. And there's an episode of the reboot of what's the cartoon show with Fry and the doctor?
Futurama.
Futurama. So in this episode, the doctor had built a diorama of like the solar system, and one of the planets was figuring out that they might be in a simulation, and so they were going to try to go to the end of the solar system, and if they went through this black hole and nothing happened, then they knew that it was just a simulation. But if they went through it and something exploded or they saw themselves drifting through time, they knew it would be real. And so the doctor got wind of this, that it was about to happen, and so he was trying to come up with a way that would stop them or deter them from it. So basically, he's reduced the power to slow down their movement and their life and everything. And so that just goes to show that time is not parallel on different spectrums and different universes and different planes. Time is subjective to where you are in that moment, because the person, the doctor did this to the simulation, their time wasn't affected, but because they reduced the power to the simulation, this diorama, then their power, like, it went to like damn near like stop motion type shit. But it begged the question, like, well, what if that doctor that did that was also a simulation, and this is just all one big science experiment for God to see, like, I'll slowly give them technology and see what they do with it. And that's why he never interfered with any of the mass genocides or slavery, anything. He's just letting it unfold. And this ain't been shit but goddamn 12 hours for him while we've had these thousands of years of existence. And I always get on that tangent and just deep dive, and then I'll scare myself and I'll go lay down.
This like what if God is playing a game and he just went to the door to get his pizza and left the game playing, and that's like in that 30, 40 seconds we had slavery, genocide. Oh, he come back. Oh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
his pizza.
yeah.
And look, while you going to get the pizza, his son Jesus went in there and messed with it. He was like, "I'm gonna put myself in here." He was like, "Jesus, what did you do?" Oh my God! You know I got to kill you, right? Because you can't be walking around with these men.
Yeah.
Boom.
That was just him taking him out the game.
Imagine God being like, Jesus, look at me. Did you fuck anybody? Look at me. Tell the truth.
No. I walked on water. I turned some water into wine. I fed some people with just a loaf of bread and some fish.
That was just an unintended kid. That's hilarious.
I gotta pull you out, my boy. I gotta pull you out. Well, listen, man, that was the first episode, man. We want to thank our guest CP for coming on, man. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna be dropping these soon, so make sure you stay tuned, and we're gonna be dropping them often. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.